What's up guys, we're back with a new video for the new Integra. Today we're going to be installing the RV6 R365 red ball bearing turbo. This is a prototype still, so we're going to take you guys on the journey and hopefully it's a simple install. Let's get into the box unopening and see what you get guys. Let's open this up. I've already taken it out of the bag when I received it. So, get into here. I got Jasmine, Asuna, Morris, and Mike in the background, so they're going to be helping me out as we go. Now, let's take this out of the packaging. And then this is the new turbo, the new red ball bearing. As you can see, it's going to be a huge difference compared to the OEM one. Everything in the turbo looks way bigger. So, if you guys have seen our 10th gen videos, or it's obviously a different design, but for the most part, this kind of reminds me of like the Type R style turbo. And as you can see with the Integra, we have a lot more room to work with. So this should be a lot simpler compared to working on a 10th gen, you know. So I think it should be a pretty simple process. But for sure, we're gonna have to switch over our actuator and our recirculation valve that goes against here, our downpipe, obviously. Yeah, so we're gonna be using a catless downpipe with this turbo, which we already have installed in here. As you can see, you can't really tell, but and then these are all the hardware you're gonna be receiving. You're gonna get a nice RV6 black. I'm gonna put that somewhere else. You're gonna be getting your oil feed line, also your block adapter, which is very important for you to be able to feed the turbo oil. You're gonna get new studs for the downpipe, and then these are gonna be your coolant bungs that are gonna go to these dash 6s right here. So all this is really good quality stuff that you're getting. A couple lanyards and stuff that we're gonna be putting around the shop later. So let's get into it. I'm gonna start by removing the battery, the intake, the inlet pipe, and then we should be able to clear up some room around here and then just go on to our wall of companies that we've been working with throughout the years. Finally get to add the RV6 performance. Perfect. Alright, so we got the inlet pipe off. So as you guys can see, the reason why we removed this lower hose and this upper hose for the coolant is because there's a joint attachment right here, so we can't really just remove one without the other. So pretty easy, just like I said, you don't want to make a mess, so just block it off and you should be pretty much good. Okay, up next, let's remove these upper 14s, this banjo bolt for the oil feed, and then this clip down here for the oil return line. After that, we're going to remove this 10 that's going to hold the hot side to the intercooler. any fluid. You don't need to. So I'm gonna wrap this around this way. This is wrapped around the water pump hose, so that's the reason why I removed it. So now should be able to just bring everything out, and there it is, the stock Integra turbo. As you can see, this is going to be the exhaust side. This would be the small inducer side. So let's do a comparison compared to the RV6. Okay, so let's see the differences between just the exhaust side of the turbos. As you can see, it's already like a huge, it's definitely bigger for sure between both exhaust wheels. So, and then let's see the intake side. It's definitely way bigger than the stock one in comparison. You know what I have noticed though, at least with Acura, I don't know if the 11 gen is the same, but they add more Torx bits instead of standard like L wrenches. Like before, the tension used to be like a number 3 L, but now it's a Torx bit, which is a number T20.
I think that's just to keep people from
messing with it.
I feel
like a lot less people have Torx bits.
Yeah.
But yeah, right now what I'm doing is I'm going to transfer over the wastegate actuator from the stock turbo onto the new RV6. Don't mess with any of the arm. You don't want to misalign the position of it. Got these 4 off. What I'm going to do now is rotate it like this upwards, and then it's going to be able to slide out like that. Easy. You know? So now this goes up, and then slide it all out. Same way you're taking it off, same way it's going back in. Now I'm going to rotate the RV6 turbo this way now, so I can actually mount the arm to this. And you see, just like that, simple. Don't try to force it. And now same way we took it off, same way it's going back in. Go sideways, and then downwards, and as you can see, this lip should be going down into the turbo as well as this one. But yeah, basically that's gonna be it. Okay, so right before we throw it in, I did add the vacuum lines now. Like I said, don't connect it because this hose is gonna interfere with the water pump hose. So let's slide this in right now. Try to get some of that stuff. Was a little bit difficult. That line that holds up the actual turbo to the blocks was in the way a little bit. It's fine, we got it good. I'm just gonna torque these up.
It's the 414s that he installed.
And as well as the 14 that's down under here. You can see a little bit better from this angle, but it's right there. Okay, we'll tighten that up right now too as well. We got that lower hot side clamp in there. Okay, so basically now we have the downpipe on, the turbo installed, all the feed lines. The last thing that we're gonna end up doing is we're gonna put back the stock inlet pipe, and then after that we'll tighten those two coolant fittings that came with the actual turbo kit. And at that point, we should be pretty much good to go. I'm gonna tune the car for just like a base startup, and then we will take this car to the dyno, and on the next upcoming video, we'll basically put it on the Mustang dyno, and we'll see exactly how much difference is gonna be between our last tune, which was on 91, compared to this new RV6 turbo on 91. I'm not gonna do E85 right now. This is our track car, so we wanna keep it as reliable as possible. And we still do have a stock motor, so we're not trying to blow it up just yet. We're still trying to get a couple more track events out of it. After that, hopefully someone in the near future comes out with rods and pistons. But until then, we're gonna try to keep the car conservative. So let's finish up the turbo install and we'll give you guys a startup. Alright, last thing guys, you will have to remove the stud from your stock turbo, and it goes right here. I have this stud remover kit, so makes life fairly easy. This is just going to align your inlet pipe with the turbo, and that's basically it. I'm just going to tighten this up now. I just took out the fuses for the injectors and for the ignition coils. We are gonna do a prime first, and then hopefully we can get some oil in the turbo before we fully turn the car on. And after that, I'll plug them back in and then we'll go from there. So far so good, don't see any leaks happening. One more time. Okay. Just make sure there's no leaking happening. You can't see anything in there. Okay. I'll plug these both back in. So you can see ignition coil, and there's going to be injectors. Plug those in. Okay, let's turn it on now. Pretty good. There is going to be some smoke that's going to come out of it, as you see. There was some small coolant that came out. So we'll go from there. But yeah, besides that, don't see any oil coming out of it. The turbo is brand new, so if it is going to get hot, it is going to start to basically burn off any type of residue that it has on its surface, and then obviously that's when you're gonna get the smoking. I'm gonna let the car run for a little bit, and then we'll drive it out and see how it sounds. it.